This is Nerding Out. I'm Nathanael.
I'm David.
American, damn it!
That's PTSD. And then
We have a lady with us.
we have a lovely lady
a
with us.
friend, scholar, not gentleman because that'd be a little bit weird.
Gentlewoman.
Gentlewoman, lady.
Probably. I'm fine.
Yeah. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Ariana.
What's so funny, Ariana?
I laugh at things that aren't funny.
Right?
That's
Dead
fair.
baby jokes are
You're-
of jokes.
No.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't laugh.
why are you laughing?
No, you don't understand. Like, she loved, like, one of her two greatest loves in life is her top three favorite things are babies, old people, and coffee.
Yep.
So, if you... yeah, true, poop too. So,
I was gonna
if you
say.
make a joke about dead babies, she won't be happy with
I was
that.
gonna
They're
say.
like the prime real estate of dark jokes.
Of
I
dark
like
jokes.
Dark jokes.
It's the
I'm a
waterfront
dark
dark
person.
joke.
I'm so bubbly. Are
You don't
kidding
like
me?
dark jokes.
But you have to work the range of joke.
I don't work the range.
Look, okay, so you remember in like
Guys,
2008
he's like-
and 9 how everything was yo mama jokes and then they died
I wasn't
immediately?
born then.
Their moms died? Like,
What?
you said that your mama jokes and then
Yeah.
they just died.
Pretty much.
Yeah, because everyone's moms died at the time. It was
Oh
like
my
the
gosh,
thing.
Evan.
Sex
To like
means
let your mom die.
I'm not helping you. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? They don't even
Can
listen
you
to
bring
me.
orphans to Hometown Buffet? They don't have a home.
To do what?
Hometown Buffet.
Because they don't really
Oh,
It doesn't exist
society.
like I don't know if people
Didn't
know this.
Hometown Buffet go out of business?
Yes,
No.
Sizzler and Hometown
Yeah.
Buffet went out of
Yeah, it's because they were making.
Favorite place to go.
Did it really?
Yeah, because there's too many orphans now.
I was gonna say there was a scandal where they were baking orphans into pies because there's nothing
Wow.
productive
They
that
called them,
orphans contribute to society, so they were just making them into
Hometown pies.
and that's why they went out of business.
Yeah, they call them hometown pies. Okay,
Oh, thanks.
I like that.
okay. So we're gonna move into a bit of news and updates on stuff. I know that. So for a fact, bit of news: the Spider-Man game that was released last week.
Marvel Spider-Man.
It looks amazing. It's gotten a lot of great reviews. I think it got like a 9.5 out of 10 from
yeah.
IGN or something. And it looks amazing. I've seen a bunch of
Yeah?
I've seen a bunch of screenshots on Twitter. Shut up. Ariana, stop.
I'm listening.
You don't have to look at it.
Don't yell at our guest, Evan.
Thank you.
Christ.
I yell at her anyway.
Don't yell at Christ either.
Yeah, please don't.
I yell for Christ.
Woohoo.
That's a good rant. That's a good one.
Then he's a teacher.
Yeah, so I've seen screenshots of the game online, and it looks beautiful. And
Yeah.
I've seen gameplay of it, and it looks fantastic. And
So,
Yeah.
yes, it looks phenomenal, and I have played it.
You have?
I have played it. So, one of my housemates got the game on Redbox, and when he's done, I play it. I've played a couple hours. I've taken a lot of screenshots. I'm trying not to like cry and scream at the same time. It's great. It's everything I hoped it was going to be. You could literally spend hours in the photo mode, just setting up shots and just taking pictures, and this game looks gorgeous.
Are
It's,
you a Spider-Man person, Ariana?
I plead the fifth.
you played the
You're a
fifth.
wise one.
There's no Spider-Man 5 in any universe.
I
Sorry.
do like Spider-Man.
Yes.
You're not a big video game person, though.
I'm not, unless it's Mario Kart. Like
She's a
Nintendo
small-
64.
Oh, I
do
have it.
that, but
Are you a small video game person?
I'm a small person, yes.
Yes.
Big inside, small
So-
outside. Look like inside out, but if you mix it with the biggest,
Oh, look at that.
I don't know what that is.
It's
Oh,
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's
That.
a screenshot from the game.
What?
Yeah.
You could set up the
Michael Bay
amazing
directed
shots
it, lens flares and everything.
as J.J. Abrams. There would be an
You've been
explosion.
toning down on it a little bit.
Really?
A little bit.
It's mostly
It's not Avatar status, but yeah.
No.
I know, I wasn't a fan of that movie either. It dances with wolves with big blue aliens. Right?
Don't
Why
love
didn't he do
Avatar.
any more movies?
I don't know, he should have.
Right?
Did you know there's 4 more Avatars coming?
What? I mean, like the
And,
first
like,
one.
I know. I feel like most people that I know feel that way, but the general
I thought the
audience,
first one was okay, but not enough to warrant the
The
second
first
one.
one
It's
How
like-
do you-
swept everything in all of the awards ever.
I know, but the thing is, though, where do you go from the first one? The story was resolved.
you
Green
go.
aliens.
That's actually revolutionary because anything that
Actually, a
takes
damn
you
producer.
far away from what Avatar was would make me happy.
See, they have to rip off another movie like that. Like it should be like Smokey and the Bandit, but with aliens.
But yeah, Spider-Man.
Like how,
Great game.
like Dante's Inferno, but under Paris. Oh wait, no, they already did that.
So
That was such a garbage movie.
It was so clearly just Dante's Inferno.
It's
Like
like,
that's
oh,
all it
good.
was.
Yeah.
It's like, oh good, I get to see a film adaptation of Dante's Inferno, but it's
You know
not
that budget?
Dante's Inferno.
Their budget for the movie is unreal.
How much was it?
I think it was like less than $3 million.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be more.
No.
Huh.
I'm like,
And
That's
it's
also-
weird. It is just weird. They brought like a Philosopher's Stone, and it's like,
right?
It's like, what?
I was going to say our budget for
Yeah.
this podcast is less than $3 million, so it's about the same.
It is.
It makes less
it's-
sense than Skyline did, and that was on my top 5 worst movies of all
Oh
time.
my gosh. Right? Yeah. Well, like, okay. If we're talking about budget for this podcast, our budget is less than like $100. So, like, to be completely,
But it's also less than $3 million.
it's significant. It's like Price is Right. You got to find a.
I was gonna
spot
say,
in the
you
middle.
just-
Dude, I was watching Price is Right. People are still cucking other people by doing the whole $1 over the other people. I hate those people. And they always win.
Well, yeah, because
They need to cut that out. They need to be round numbers. $50 increments.
Oh wow.
They need to cut out.
I'm serious. It pisses me off.
Hmm.
Because these poor old ladies who get on, I've been watching this for 40 years. $101. There's $102. Give it up here. It's like, you see this old lady being like, my life's a lie. It's like, oh god. Should have stayed at home.
I think we're entering David's troll bridge unintentionally.
Yeah. Well, no, that's just David in a
Yeah.
nutshell. He just gripes about things, and it's just fun listening to him
It's
gripe.
just, you know,
Speaking of segments and stuff that we do,
that was a professional transition.
I know. We have a new segment that we're going to be trying out. We have a bunch of new segments that we're going to be introducing the next few weeks as they go by, and we have a new segment that is going to be headed by Nathanael here.
Yes, and we're gonna come up with a catchy intro to put at the beginning.
That we'll probably insert here.
To binge or not to binge, that is the question.
Yes, the whole theme of it will be more very like not Romeo and Juliet, Shakespeare,
It's
and very
Hamlet,
like
Very
Hamlet.
Victorian era.
Yeah,
Baroque.
to
I don't
to binge or not to binge?
Baroque.
That is the question.
The quintessential time of music. I'm sorry. You need to get this microwave.
so-
Here. Pop it up.
So, Nathaniel will be sharing his thoughts about a show and whether or not he thinks it's worthy to be binged or if it should not be binged.
So I watch a lot of TV. I don't binge watch too many shows, which is kind of ironic because that's the name of the segment. But there's a new show that I watched this week. It just came out. It's called Ozark, and it's the second season. It's a really dark, depressing show. But if you like that and you like shows with Jason Bateman in them, you will love the show. He is the lead actor. So basically, he's a money launderer. So and there's drugs involved. So you think it's Breaking Bad when you first watch it. You're like, this is just a ripoff with a darker gradient of Breaking Bad. I would say, oh man, it's hard because there are 5 seasons of Breaking Bad. There's only 2 seasons of the show so far. It's different enough to where it's its own thing. I would almost say it's equally good. But again, there's only 2 seasons. But
Where can people find this show?
people can find this show on Netflix. It's an original Netflix show. I think there's 10 episodes per season. They're each around an hour.
Okay.
That's our
So, Nathaniel, based on the story, what is your verdict? Binge or not binge?
I would say, with the caveat of if you don't like depressing stuff and very dark, gritty stuff, don't watch this. If you're okay with that, binge watch this now. It's so good. I'm halfway through the season, so I'm not the best binger. Only with alcohol, so that's not true.
Same.
That's not true, but I'll still give you a high five. So, binge watch Ozark and write into the podcast, or don't. You could send us a bomb in the mail. That'd be more than we've ever got down to. You could send that to David.
What's your favorite episode so far?
Oh, man, my favorite episode. I mean, it's like a giant movie, so it's hard to say. I don't know the episode names. That would be too spoilery, but I would say it's the one where they. Exactly. That's my favorite scene. So, binge watch Ozark on Netflix.
Shocking.
2 seasons.
That's the question. That's the question. That's the question.
That is the first little segment of Nathaniel's To Binge or Not to Binge. We will be implementing more of these little segments, and it'll be good time.
And we'll spice it up to like make it sound more interesting, and we'll make my voice sexier and deeper. And
Oh, that's
speed
not
up times
possible.
10.
That's not possible. We can't do that.
No, Max Sexy is what you're
Yes.
saying.
Your voice is max sexy.
Girl.
I would,
Butter is not smooth enough for your voice.
Like,
I can believe it's not
Butter
butter
is
because
sand.
it's better than butter.
Butter is sand to your voice.
Oh,
I want sand in my butter.
exactly, because
Ever.
your
Basically.
your voice is so much smoother than butter.
Okay, this is like getting uncomfortable now. That's
Oh,
like-
sorry. So, with that, we'll be moving into our main topic.
Main topic.
Hey,
Main topic. Main topic. Yeah.
We're clipping that and using that.
So going into this, we will be doing this first half as a non-spoiler review, just initial thoughts and kind of what we're thinking about the movie and the universe or whatever, and then we'll be going into more spoilers about the movie called The Nun.
The nut.
And so, Ariana, what was your first initial thoughts about the movie just in general?
Without spoiling it.
Yes.
Yep.
You'll have plenty of time afterwards to spoil, but
It was
Close.
Oh, okay. It was actually it was pretty good. It was kind of creepy. I feel like I don't get scared frequently with movies, so I like that I was like hiding my face during some of it. And there was a very interesting tie-in to the first Conjuring, which I'm not spoiling because I didn't say anything.
right now you're not. But
But I'll spoil it for you all later.
yeah.
Spoil the hell out.
We'll make sure that you spoil it later.
That was my favorite part. The
Yeah.
the tie-in. It was such a small. Okay, I'll stop. It was a cool tie.
So, do you think that it matched the hype leading up to it with all of the advertisements leading up to the movie? Do you think it met your expectations, or was it lower? Do you think?
I don't think it met my expectations. Well, you know what? No. Yes, it did meet my expectations, though my expectations weren't high.
Okay, that's fair.
So,
But she was, let me tell you.
oh yeah.
Yeah,
Smoking that maraschino Reno.
So, a group of us went
Yeah.
to go see this movie, and
Not me.
not David. David was.
All around me. I was stuck in LA traffic.
Oh,
Thanks, Riverside.
That's where I'm from.
Really?
Yeah.
What part?
It's a terrible part.
The Riverside part.
The entire part
Garden
of
Grove?
Riverside is terrible. Garden Grove's not that bad.
It's
It's not great, but it's not that bad.
inside the Garden Grove. Saying Garden Grove's not bad.
It's not that bad.
That's just like, oh, Inland Empire's livable.
No,
It's like,
it's
no.
Leave there now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chicago's better.
I will. I can
Marginally.
say that I would agree with Ariana. Like, I don't think my expectations were super high. I think I heard a lot about people saying how it was super scary, and a lot of the ads were kind of making it seem like it was going to be a super spooky movie.
Speaking of the ads, the controversy that went with the ads, I believe, hyped the movie even a little bit more.
Yeah, because there was an ad on YouTube that was removed because it was scaring too many people.
Yeah. The way they set it up was the ad went through and it played like a normal ad where they show you basically all the jump scares in one. But then there was a part where it was completely black and all the audio goes zero. And innately, people who are still watching the ad will turn their volume up because they think it's a talking part. And that's when they throw in a really loud jump scare of the nun, and they removed it because it was a part of their malicious and, I guess, part of their infringement of, stuff you can put up because it's too disturbing for the people.
Yes, and people are babies. So
Well, literally, they were babies watching.
We're all
that,
babies
so,
doing that.
So, you don't
that's
want
true too.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lady that got so scared in our theater that she chucked her baby in the air.
Wait, is that real?
I'm kidding.
I was gonna say.
I was-
no.
Nathaniel.
If
thoughts?
you leave babies alone, they're just gonna
Thoughts?
die on their own. So I thought
Have you not watched Tarzan? That's not the case.
A gorilla will come.
Yeah.
that's a really good
If you
point.
build it, a gorilla will come.
If you leave your baby, a gorilla will come and raise it. So
Hear that, deadbeat dads?
I came into
Wow.
this.
You don't need to do
Oh,
anything.
I saw your dad at church today.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Speaking of deadbeat
Did he
dads.
lose weight?
Dad, I'm totally kidding.
Wow.
I am totally kidding. If you listen to this, I don't mean that. It is just a joke.
A life.
Oh man.
Did he
Sorry.
lose weight?
Oh yeah.
I thought so.
Yeah, he's
Like
yeah,
very
he's-
trimmed out.
Oh yeah. He's been doing really good for
Does he do
himself.
CrossFit?
No, he doesn't. He does his own like workouts, and he like really pushes himself. It was really impressive actually. Someone as a guy being like 60 some years old.
He's got like that
Yeah.
generation.
He's like 60. He's like 63.
Is he like raised on a farm kind of thing?
No, he was raised. He was raised like in a military family, or his dad was in the military,
Okay.
and so he was raised by his dad, and his dad owned a restaurant, so it was very much kind of like helping family business kind of thing. So he was raised in that, yeah.
Huh.
So
Yeah, because he's got that immortal gene thing going for him.
oh yeah, for sure. Anyway, sorry.
Yes, back
So-
to the Wall podcast.
So the Nun takes place in the what is called the Conjuring universe, where
Mhm.
yeah, it is a very fun universe, and I remember Ariana and I have been kind of like connected through these movies because we've seen most of these movies like when they came out.
Yes.
Like we saw The Conjuring when it came out,
I
correct?
approved that message.
Yeah,
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, and then we also saw Annabelle when it came out.
We watched that on the laptop.
No, we saw that in theaters.
Maybe you did.
I remember seeing that in theaters because I
Okay.
remember losing my mind during Annabelle
Oh
when
my
it
gosh,
did when
you
it
cursed
did.
at the screen.
Yeah.
It was so funny. Evan is hilarious to watch scary movies with because he poops his pants.
I-
Very obviously.
No,
Literally.
It's fantastic.
He has the best reactions.
He does.
this was me watching some parts of The Nun.
Yeah.
Oh.
So for those
His face
of
was
you,
covered half the time. It was great.
his hand was like inside of his head, so that's
Yeah,
just how it
I
was.
was very much because I'm more watching it just kind of more like because people are so stupid in horror movies. Like, oh, there's a sound. Let me go walk towards it.
Yeah.
Oh, a candle just lit on its own. Let me walk towards it. Why?
Yeah.
It's so
Run
annoying.
and run.
Yeah, I know. Literally, it's like leave. Like it got to a point where I saw these two characters. I'm just like, leave. Get out of there. Why are you still there? You've accomplished what you came there to accomplish. You don't need to be there anymore. Leave.
Yeah. So my thoughts on this movie was I really liked it. I thought it was really great,
Right.
but there were some obvious glaring faults.
Oh.
The biggest of which was let's follow, like you were saying, let's follow everything that we have no reason to follow. We have all the reason not to follow. We should just run.
Right.
But every character is just like, you know what? That thing over there that looks like it's going to kill me or possess me or something, I'm going to go towards
Or that figure of the person that I know for a fact is dead. Let me go and follow it. You know,
gotta
it's
follow.
like, you know that there's demonic things at work, and you
Yeah.
know that demons plays trick. You know demons want to play tricks on you. So why are you following that thing when you know that person's dead?
They've got to follow the scary movie tropes, though.
I know.
No, they won't.
and
It wouldn't be a scary
they
movie.
followed the trope at the end where it was like, oh, we're in a big group. Let's all separate inconspicuously. It's like
the Scooby-Doo syndrome. As
It wasn't they split up on purpose. They just stopped following each other and started doing their own
Got
things.
distracted.
Yeah, and it's like, no, stay together, stay together, stay
It's kind
together.
of like that.
And the moment they split apart, everything fell to
Goes
hell.
bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it went to poop. Exactly.
It's a poop.
Yes.
It's like that bit that Gabriel Iglesias does about the nature guy that died by the stingray. What's his name?
Steve
Steve
Irwin.
Irwin.
Yes, I want to go touch it.
Yeah.
Poking
Come on,
everything
stick
dangerous with
stick
a
at it.
stick.
Yeah,
That's how scary movies are.
So,
Things you should run from.
go straight
Don't
at it.
follow it.
Yeah, and I think it was a good movie, but it's just general complaints are just stuff that a lot of movies suffer from. Badly used tropes. So,
yeah, I agree.
And I don't know. We can cut this out, but can we talk about the Jesus Christ blood thing?
We'll
please.
get to that. We'll get to that. We'll
yeah,
get to that.
we'll get to that.
But real
Zombie
quick, before we go into spoilers, what do you guys think about overall just the Conjuring universe, like movie like, as a whole? Like, what do you?
100% USDA premium beef. It's
Really?
so
Into the
good.
microphone
I
side.
like it. The
Yeah.
only thing I don't like is Annabelle. The way Annabelle was formatted doesn't fit into the universe correctly.
Mm.
But as soon as
It was more of
Creation
a side tale.
Conjuring 1 and 2 is actually like along the path. Annabelle was just kind of strewed in there, and then the
thing with Annabelle was that Annabelle, there was like an origin behind that doll because that was in The Conjuring.
Yes.
but then Annabelle needed a creation story, needed a thing for like how it got possessed or whatever.
Right.
So
Annabelle
Annabelle needed 2 movies to tell its story, which I think they could have done it in one. I think.
Yeah. The Conjuring is a bit better because they were able to fit, especially in the second one. I felt that was kind of the prime maxim of them because they get to fit in the Crooked Man and then the Nun and then the overarching villain. I assume is in this movie.
The Amityville.
The Amityville horror and
that was in the beginning. Yeah, I thought that was really good.
So
so I think the Conjuring like cinematic universe, like there's cinematic universes all over the place now. Every movie has to be connected with everything now.
Even the M. Night Shyamalan universe is coming together now.
You mean how they're generally bad?
Well, no.
I'm just.
Well, no. The Split.
I haven't seen that one.
Mr.
You haven't
Unbreakable.
seen Split?
Yeah, we saw Split together.
No, I haven't.
It was really good.
No, she said.
It was
She
really,
said
really
I haven't seen it.
No, I'm saying like we saw Split.
That's
together.
why she was asking.
It
That's
was
true.
so anxiety making throughout the entire thing.
Ooh,
Like
I need to watch it.
when you watch it a second time, it has zero effect. It's a one watch movie because when you don't know what's going to happen, because then you're just like, it's not going to kill him for another 45 minutes.
Oh, thanks for spoilers.
They're just sitting.
Yeah, it's interesting because like watching some movies with twists, it's interesting watching them again because it's like you already know the twist is coming. But I like watching them to see like the hints leading up to it.
Yeah,
I like watching those
Foreshadowing,
and like picking up on the foreshadowing because like before when you watch it you don't really notice it, but then when you get to the end and then you think back to all the other things, you're like, oh no, they totally foreshadowed that before, and then you I like going back and finding all the Easter eggs leading up to it. Yeah.
Right. Was the Nun? So there's like 3 sets of scares in movies. Is it a build-up anxiety, something
We'll
shooting
talk
you
about
scared?
that in the spoiler.
Well, this isn't really spoiler. But I'm
It's-
just saying, like, what was the structure
I
of
will
it?
say
Was it 90% jump scare?
I personally think that most of the scary parts and most of the jump scares were from the trailer. Were from the trailers.
Right.
I will say a majority of them, or at least I saw most of them from trailers.
Right.
I don't know about you guys or what you guys think.
I didn't see the trailers, honestly.
You didn't see them?
No, I was just interested.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like a lot of the jump scares were from the trailers, or from the trailers that I saw. But
I think I only saw one trailer.
Okay.
And there was. It wasn't that big.
Yeah. So the 3 of us that have seen the movie, what would you guys score it out of 10?
Out of 10, I'd give it like a 7. It was good, but it was still very like typical horror movie. A lot of the characters were pretty flat.
Yeah.
And
How'd you, Ariana?
Say 6 3/4.
6 3/4. That's very specific. 7.5.
7.5.
Yeah, I thought it was really good, but I thought there were like some obvious flaws.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, with that, we're going into our spoiler half. Yes.
We're gonna hit you in the face with some spoilers.
Ariana's very excited because this is her favorite part. David does not care about spoilers, so he will be hanging out with us and kind of we'll be giving him answers to.
I'll get kind of a sneak peek at the movie without spending the money.
Yeah.
We're gonna do live reenactment. So.
Oh, okay.
I will be the nun.
Sorry, you're not scared.
Maybe one of us wanted to be the nun.
That's a very
Not
nice way to
at all.
take it. So, how this whole thing fits in the Conjuring universe is this takes place before everything. This takes place
Before God.
no, this takes place before everything in the Conjuring.
Well, there was no
universe.
God in 1950.
Apparently, and the nun, or as they know, the demon's name is Valak. That's
Okay, so it is
Valak.
the one that's cast away. It is the one that's cast away in Conjuring 2.
Yes, but this shows how Valak got there.
Okay, so I assume from this point, obviously it will be surviving to last through.
It kind of takes away the victorious ending
Yeah, the
that
levity of it.
they beat the demon, knowing that Valak is going to show up later.
Okay.
So it's just a matter of figuring out how he gets there, and they do explain it. So
Okay.
yeah, which is Ariana's favorite part of the movie. Ariana, do you want to share that with us?
Well, hold on. Go through the movie
Go through the movie.
because
Well, people have already seen the movie who have listened to this.
who have
so
seen the spoiler.
Right.
Yeah.
You'll pick up pieces of the movie along the way.
Well, okay. there's the abbey, the cathedral with all the nuns in it, and they're in this state of continuous prayer, trying to keep trying to keep the gate of hell closed. That's like sealed like somewhere in the abbey, and to keep Valak from entering the world. It opens up with the last two nuns trying to like seal it off, and
with the blood of Christ. No, that's
no.
later.
We'll get into that later. Oh my gosh.
I think
the dumbest MacGuffin in all movies.
I would have given it probably like a 7, maybe 7.5, but just that,
But we don't have to go in a particular order. Let's just talk about the blood of Christ.
Oh yeah,
Ariana,
so
tell us about it.
That was how they killed the freaking demon. They have this ancient old
Easter egg.
Roman Catholic styled Easter egg, and inside of it is this little vial with the blood of the actual living Jesus Christ that walked the earth however freaking long ago in 1950, and they have a vial of blood.
Did you know the vial was shaped like a cross?
There's a little
and the vial was shaped like a cross 10 times worse. How? And then
Because
it was
all the
actually pretty
cheese.
funny because when
Sounds
I
like a
mentioned
Binding of Isaac ad item.
it's so ridiculous. That part killed me.
Yeah, I heard that the movie lost me.
Yeah. All the Christians in the theater were like, okay, no.
I just laughed. It was
Unanimous sigh of sure.
Every
really?
Comedic.
Isn't this in Romania?
Yeah.
Yes.
In
1950.
Just handing it out like store shop. Here's blood of Jesus Christ. It's $6. It's like what?
Yeah, and
now,
it would be like any living person's blood, from 2,000 years ago.
Right. It's
Why
probably
holy water.
right.
Sure.
Why? It just
They had holy water.
Charlie Chaplin's blood.
I guess it was just trying to signify how
Here it is.
significant this
So-
freaking demon.
So they actually kill Valak then,
No. Okay. Well, the thing is,
or does it get
They-
repossessed somewhere?
they kind of skip over the fact that the blood of Jesus gets spat into its face. Like someone actually, someone
Puts the blood in their
Drink?
mouth.
not
then-
drink, just put them in their mouth. It goes. Piss.
So she somehow...
Seriously?
Yes.
What's this in New York? I'm spit in your face, man. You cut me off in traffic.
So Irene, who is the pre-nun, who is now nun,
Right.
because she takes her vows, she's underwater being held down by the nun, who's the demon.
Valid.
Where's the water in Romania?
There's a pool underneath the abbey.
While they're trying to...
All
Yeah,
these
because...
places are built on the jankest place. Like the basement from The Conjuring is just you need to leave that house. There's plumbing issues.
Yeah, so they go down to seal the demon, and water is there for some reason. After
You can
a
see
while.
water droplets, so clearly water's been running in there somehow.
So they're
I don't know.
They're
Because,
on an awaiting sinkhole. Good
Sure.
plan.
Well, it's funny enough. That's where the gate is. That's where the demon gets sucked underneath.
so she gets put under the water, is drowning. She somehow gets the blood from inside of the Easter egg in her mouth. So when she gets brought out of the water, she spits it in its face. It's just
Yeah, and then the rest of the blood gets in the water, mixing up with the water, opening the gate, and sucking the demon through. That's the last part. I feel like that part was kind of oh, we need to find a way to seal.
Opening the gate or closing the gate?
closing.
Well, closing.
Oh,
Sorry,
Because it had
closing.
been opened.
Yeah, it had been open.
Okay.
Sorry, closing. Sorry. I just remembered the cracks were opening and sucking everything in, and then it closed. So that's why I said opening. But we see this guy, Maurice.
Yeah, Maurice.
Maurice.
Sure.
The dude from the second Conjuring who,
No. Yes.
yeah,
No,
Jocelyn and
no.
what's her face? The one that what's her face gets the vision that
Well, it's from the second.
gonna get
It's,
killed.
it's from
Second
the first.
Conjuring,
No,
yeah.
it's from the first one. Well, there's a
the
videotape.
first one's from the farmhouse one.
Yeah, I know, but the first one, that's where the
Oh,
mom,
that's right, it is.
goes.
Was
The
they
mom
giving a
goes.
lecture?
The mom goes to
Yeah.
one of their seminars, and they're showing that video. Yeah, that's the dude,
Frenchie.
Frenchie.
They
Oh.
say his name's Maurice. His friends call him Frenchie. It's the same freaking
Maurice.
dude.
Yeah. So he. I
so
can't believe
he's
you
the
remember that
tie-in.
name. I did not
Pretty
even.
impressive.
I didn't even remember that. But yeah, so Valak possesses him, and you see at the end, you see on his neck, he has a little imprint of an upside down cross, and how they say a cross starting to appear under his skin. So Valak shows the vision to.
I wondered if it was tying in because I remember the guy. because that was the beginning of the movie, and I was just like, well, how the hell did he get it? Like, dancing around a graveyard somewhere? Like,
I mean, he kind of was in this movie. He kind of was.
He stole a cross.
Oh yeah, he stole a cross that was like on someone's grave and was like taking
As
this.
protection, he just sprints off and is like in a bar with his cross.
With a cross. Yeah,
That's
it was
just
very funny. Yeah, it was funny. Yeah, there's like little telltale signs like before and after. Like after he had his little encounter with Valak, that kind of could have shown that he was possessed, because like there was a moment like before they left, or like before they walked away, where like they did their thing, or the priest and the nun did their thing, and then before he would spit, and that was like kind of how like that's how like the people in his town, like it was like a superstition, but then he didn't do it
Oh,
at that time.
I didn't notice
I didn't
that.
catch
Yeah,
that.
it's just like little things after that. He
Yeah.
was the thing is that he wasn't possessed that long before they showed the thing on his neck. He wasn't possessed that long, so that's the. There was only just a few times where that was the thing, but
Yeah. So Evan, Ariana, what was, if you had one moment from this film that was just like your favorite, what was it?
Frenchie's face.
Frenchie's
He's
face?
very attractive.
she kept talking about how like him and Irene need to go like make babies.
Yes.
So yeah, I thought it was funny how his name was Frenchie, and at the end there was a little Frenchie there. I mean, she was unconscious, but
Oh, right.
yeah,
He gave her a kiss of life.
he's alive.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's
Why
true.
the girls call him Frenchie? Anyways, I'll think about my real answer.
I think my favorite thing was kind of a callback to The Conjuring 2, where in The Conjuring 2 the nun shadow crawls across the wall and then behind the painting, and then kind of reveals itself.
one of the best.
There was a very similar effect where the shadow like overtakes like the cross, like in this little chapel area, and then crawls across the wall like to a mirror where like she's standing behind Irene, and like so I think visually that was one of my favorite moments, where it was a really cool, neat little effect that they did, and I thought that was visually I thought that was really good. I think they did a good job with like the visuals and the music in this movie. And I think that's probably the best part of this movie. But Ariana, you still thinking? Or
Yeah, I think I'm not really a fan of sequels, so I typically.
this kind of wasn't a sequel.
I mean, it was based
Prequel.
off of.
It was a prequel,
Well,
yeah,
okay,
and it tied into something else, but it was really kind of its own thing. It wasn't
I like
it
that
wasn't
it-
relying on.
It tied it back to The Conjuring 1 in the smallest way. Like, no one besides David remembered more.
Apparently.
I love these movies.
Like, it just, it
I
doesn't
love
make sense,
scary
but I like how they tied that in. And I really, really like the specific scene where she's in the chapel praying with all the nuns.
Ooh,
Oh,
that
yeah.
was good.
That part was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. So
You don't
yeah.
expect
Well, no. It comes to the point where they're there at the abbey and they're encountering all these different nuns and they're communicating with them, and then later, they all get together to pray to help seal the gate.
And they get like thrown
And
everywhere.
like
It's
this
intense.
demonic force just blows them all away, and then she lets Father Burke and Frenchie in, like through the door that was locked, and then she turns around and all the nuns are gone.
And she's like, "Oh, I'm like praying with all of them, and they're right here." And they're like, "Wait, what?" And
Yeah.
then she looks around, and there's no one there.
So it leads you to understand.
So those were
that-
like the nuns that have been spiritually protecting the place.
yeah, that's
in
the
a
idea.
sense, for the fight to protect it, I guess.
That's the idea, is that they're
Wow.
leading you to believe that most of all, if not all, the nuns have died, and that all the ones that they've been seeing have been either illusions like made by Valak, or it's just like
Now-
spirits that they're communicating
How'd
with.
the rift even get to that monastery? Is it a monastery?
Yeah, monastery abbey. There was a dude. I think it was in.
It was like summoning stuff.
It was like a dude like in World War I or II or something like that, where he like ran experiments, and he like did like demonic stuff like in the catacombs underneath, where like he went to summon something, and then this was even before World War II. This was like when
Medieval
Let's see how
times.
it opened again. Because of the bombing.
it opened up because of the bombing. That's true.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
It
A
did.
spiritual rift's gonna open because the place was bombed.
Kind of.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
They
literally
didn't
what
use
happened.
flex tape.
They should have. It wasn't invented though, unfortunately. But
But
That's
this
the
was,
Lord
it was
Jesus Christ.
during
Flex
the Catholic Renaissance is when
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because like the holy like
Freaking
warriors
dark
came in.
the
and,
holy
like,
warriors came in and stopped
All
it.
the
with the blood of Christ.
But God love the Catholics for trying to play God.
Well, they were
and then
playing
the
with
Catholics
blood.
sealed it up with the blood
Was it
of
like
Christ.
a duke or something?
I don't remember. I think they.
Because I know in the original, or in the actual lore of what Valak was, is it's actually a baby that used to be like one of the presidents of hell or something like that. He used to like ride around on a demon. So they gave no context to that. Didn't give any backstory. They're just like, oh, the rift is open because
Because some guy was summoning stuff.
They
basically,
really,
like,
yeah, they really didn't dive too much deeper into the origin of Valak or like what he actually was. He's just a demon, the defiler of serpent, or like the defiler, the Marquis of Snakes. Like they really only played on more of the snake thing, but they didn't really dive into more of who Valak the demon was.
See, I would have rather, because it was from what? What did you say it was from? Like what era was the dude who started it all?
Like the Catholic
like the
Renaissance.
Catholic, yeah.
I'd rather see a movie on that. Like, I get the known as a stepping stone, but show me how it started. Like, that sounds to be a better horror movie, especially with like the ambience they could have created.
I felt like this film had good ambience. It was just,
I don't know. Yeah.
kind of like what I mentioned. The characters were like a little bit flat, so
I feel
and
like,
stupid.
yeah,
Well,
they're so stupid. So there's a moment where they're going down to the catacombs to defeat Valak, and they're all in a group, but then they all just get separated. They all get distracted by something, and they all go off and do their own
Like
thing.
immediate.
Yeah, like almost immediately.
There's not even anything that draws
They did
them
the
apart,
stupid
really.
top down where they all split off
No.
at once.
No. You see Father Burke go into this room, and they just keep walking off, and it's
And then they
no!
separate. They're
And then Irene goes into one room, and then Fritchie hears something and goes off, leaving her by herself. I'm like, you guys are idiots. You guys are stupid. Like, you are so stupid. And then freaking Father Burke is an idiot. There was this kid that he did an exorcism on
That was
died.
weird.
who died
who died.
in the past.
Daniel. And
Do they call back to it or something?
Yeah, a few times.
Oh.
And it's kind of playing off, Father Burke's guilt. I think that's the whole idea.
They're trying to build his character, but at the end, it's just like,
Okay.
you know this kid is dead.
Right.
You know it's a demon. Why are you following
the
him?
demons play tricks. Stop following the kid.
So I feel like having him in the movie actually weakened his character because he knew that he knew that Daniel was dead a long time ago and that it couldn't be him. So he would have known it's a demon. There's no sense for him to go after it.
He should have
He would have
done.
stayed the hell away from that.
Yeah, you should have known it was a demon and just left it alone. But he just kept going after it, and then later, like, it kept bugging him, or kept attacking him, or bugging him. It really wasn't like that much of an issue.
Would you like to buy insurance today, sir?
Quit
But
bugging
Please
me.
stop calling.
But then but then it kind of shows Valak, the Marquis of Snakes, and how like Daniel like spits out a snake and then like bites him in the eye.
Ouch.
Yeah, and that's like the whole.
So was the
conclusion.
Reverend even? Did he do anything?
Reverend Burke
It sounded like
He-
what was it?
He did a lot of stuff, but he also
didn't.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He got buried alive
He
at one point.
researched a lot and like got a lot of the information.
yeah.
Like he was like looking through all the lore or the books and crap that he found in the
He's one of the guys who brings the manga.
coffin.
Yeah. The thing that I find interesting is that later, when Lorraine confronts Valak, and she knows who he is, she finds out his
Isn't
name.
it he?
Valak?
I'm sure about the gender.
Yeah.
Do demons have genders?
It was a baby boy. Yeah.
They don't.
Uh,
They're not technically.
apparently-
They don't, but in
apparently-
this,
The lore for Valak is he was the president of hell for Satan. So he ran like one of the like torture sections, and I guess it's following on the Catholic like Dante's Inferno style, where there's a bunch of layers of hell,
Mm-hmm.
and so the the handoff. So the lore to Valak is that it was a baby boy, and I believe there was something with like a dragon or something like that, and that the idea was that I don't remember if it was a son or something of a fallen angel or something like that. But the whole part of it was almost like lust or greed or something. Kind of wanted to consume stuff, almost like the moon from Majora's Mask. But it was like that, where
Don't bring that up around me.
which is, by the
Being
way, Fantastic game.
It's a great
fully
game.
endorsed
No
by
flaws.
Nathanael.
None at all.
You want to fight me on
We already did that podcast.
Anyway, yeah.
So there was no. So they didn't really give any lore to Valak at all. It was just
No, it was
how
just,
it
like,
became the
mentioned.
nun. I guess.
Basically.
It's the nun. So
He became a nun.
I guess it's just a show. At one point, he was a girl. So. Or no. That was the.
That's true. So the idea that the Valak, he's basically just another demon, and this is not really given any backstory, which is kind of unfortunate.
Yeah.
But yeah, the characters, a lot of the main characters kind of fall
You're saying
flat.
something about Lorraine.
Yeah, it was. Lorraine in The Conjuring 2 was able just to call the demon out by its name and cast it back to hell. Here, they needed the blood of Christ. Why is this different?
Maybe it was weakened from that. I guess the scene from the nun where he gets casted or not casted back. Okay, so then they close the rift, but then he gets claimed on to Frenchie or Maurice or
Yeah. Yeah,
They
but
showed
they
like
have
the
a whole
scene-
they have a whole scene where Valak gets pulled.
See, they did that with Annabelle, where at the end of Annabelle, where the doll wasn't existent anymore, or they casted the spirit out of the doll, and then later that lady picks up the doll from that store for her daughter.
Well, no. What happened was the demon wanted a sacrifice, and the lady jumped out of the window with
be
the
that
doll
sacrifice.
to be the sacrifice. But then they looked back later, and then her body was still there, but the doll disappeared,
That's what was weird. 'cause I
implying
thought
that
they
the
looked
demon
right
wasn't
out.
satisfied with that sacrifice.
So then the doll left.
I guess. The thing is, like, you never see the doll move until Annabelle creation.
Then, like, what's the point of
Annabelle,
that
and Annabelle,
scene then?
at the end of Annabelle creation, like the doll moves its head, like
Yeah.
a little bit, just goes.
Yeah.
Even though you're waiting for that to happen in Annabelle, and it never happens.
Yeah, and that's
Such a-
what's stupid.
Such a cock tease.
Yeah.
But yeah, so sorry. It's just it's when it comes to movies, because it's just so like it's like you're like teasing it, going like, oh, it's gonna happen, and then it just never does, and you're just like, ah.
I've never heard that phrase before.
You've really never
It's
heard.
just
Really?
quite shocking.
Oh, sorry.
Christian. Christian podcast talking about horror movie.
Yeah. So it was okay, but I feel like it could have
That's a
been
good
better.
question, though. How the heck did Lorraine cast it back into hell?
Because if the name is the whole point, I'm pretty sure at one point in the Nun, wouldn't they have said his name in some form?
They
to
showed it in
cast
a book.
back? Huh?
Valak's name?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was in a book.
yeah, it was in a book, and
Did they say it?
and yeah, they said his name a few times. They said like it's Valak,
I call hacks.
but
It was
they
written
never
in one of their
they never thought to go.
or demon
They
books.
never thought to do like an exorcism of the demon itself and like call it by its name and like proclaim the
No,
power
that
of
wasn't a
Jesus.
thing.
Well, they said that it was too strong.
Yeah,
But if it's too strong, then why, when Lorraine gets it, it's like, oh, hey,
Exactly.
Lorraine.
Platon.
That's such a
I
great
don't know.
question.
Maybe David has
6.5 now.
Maybe David has some points. Maybe David has a point with that. Maybe by the time Lorraine got to it, it was weak.
Because then, if the whole point of the Annabelle part was the old lady was just like, my daughter died, and then she was the sacrifice, and that was the way to kind of statiate things. How was that not enough? And then that continues on into The Conjuring with
Where-
the family, and then finally gets possessed with that one chick, and then she joins a cult, and then kills herself over the doll again, the return of the doll, and then the doll goes.
in Annabelle
I agree
creation,
with Ariana. I don't think this is literature. It's just fun movies. So.
It's called Hollywood Wants Money. They
Give
make
it to
movies.
Yeah. So I think to like wrap up, what do you guys think about the scares in general about the movie and how they were done? And was it scary?
would you like to go first?
Sure. The one part that really freaked me out
Mm-hmm.
was when Frenchie goes in the room after they get split up to go find Irene, and it's all those nuns.
Oh, but
with,
like they have
their
the
heads
bags over
covered,
there.
and like
Oh,
they
the-
really turn and crack really creepily.
This movie really liked the bone cracking sound,
Yes.
I don't.
and he used that a lot, like when like heads would just kind of go.
Yeah.
It's just like, you all need a chiropractor.
Yes,
That's what
basically.
you need.
Yeah, basically.
You need to
Yeah,
blow
that part.
across.
I actually laughed at that one out loud because I got to the one point where one like was right next to him and went, and he just went.
He just looked.
He just looked at him and like, don't like like he didn't say anything, but down his face was just like, you suck.
Yeah, I think Frenchie stole the movie. Like,
Yeah. For me, I
Star
think he was. I
performance
think he
was
was. I think
Yeah,
he was the best
he
part.
it was hilarious.
Not just because he's hot. He was a good actor.
I mean,
Well, I mean, mostly just because he was hot. Right?
But yeah,
Nice.
that part definitely freaked me out. I think it was scary, but it wasn't like terrifying. Like I would classify The Conjuring 1, like the first one that came out, like that freaks me out still when I watch it. It's creepy as heck. This one's like, you got me.
Yeah, I thought almost all the scares in this movie were jump scares, and almost every time they set up the scares, it was like a really drawn out, like tense moment, and they just like surprise you in that moment at a random time with the scare. So I think it's better than other jump scares in other movies, but they're still jump scares, and it was just like it felt a little bit cheap. But it was like some parts were scary. Almost all the scary moments for me were jump scares.
Like they didn't do any of the actual like situational.
There were some of those too, but it was just
like what,
Like the graveyard.
like the graveyard and sort of not knowing what's happening, and the part with the nuns and stuff like that. But in general, I felt like most of the scares were jump scares. It was just like this drawn out moment and then boom. So I didn't think it was like too scary. It was more like it
It's
just
kinda-
surprises.
See, the thing, I think that's a better way to put it. It wasn't necessarily scary. It just used a lot of like quiet, like suspenseful building up moments, and then it surprised you. That's more of what the movie was. There wasn't anything that genuinely scared me,
Right.
or made me think, or like gave me nightmares when I came home. Like I didn't like if I come home from seeing a scary movie and then I have to like turn all the lights on in my house, like to do anything, like
That's how you know it's a good movie.
that's how you know it was a good scary
Yeah.
movie. I didn't care. I was just walking through my house with the lights off, not caring. And
There were a few like terrifying images, like the nun when they found like the nun that hung herself,
yeah,
and they found like the body, and it shows like birds eating off her, and like part of her face is missing. That was like
Yeah.
scary looking.
yeah.
That was like a good image.
It was, the imagery, that's what I'm saying. The imagery and the
Yeah.
music was good, but most of the scares were mostly just cheap jump scares. And I was kind of like, I spent most of the time just kind of bracing for the next jump scare because I'm just like, mostly because most jump scares are just like loud noises where they go, bang!
Right.
And like,
It's like
and
silence and bang.
I'm mostly just like preparing myself for
the
that.
drum and violin, one note.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think where this movie does it better than other ones is a lot of other movies don't give you any warning. It's just like out of nowhere, no
Right.
reason.
But I like the ones that are just like they throw a jump. Like I don't
I
like jump
don't-
scares because of
I
how
don't
cheap
mind-
it is, but
I don't mind them throwing in jump scares every once in a while, but if
but
it's
the
not,
build-up's just obvious.
but if you can time the jump scare by the third one
Yeah.
because it's following a pattern, then sorry, I'm not gonna.
Because then you can put yourself in the state like I'm gonna get scared. The
Yeah,
next
no,
one.
yeah, very much, yeah.
Ah.
So
Yeah, I thought these were timed a little bit different though. They weren't all the
the
same.
thing is
time.
that there was a lot of build up for some of them with not that
Some
much
of them had a
payoff.
lot.
With not that much payoff. It was kind of. There was like the one where she was like laying in her bed, and then there was the nun like in the like in her room like knelt over praying,
Mhm.
and then she's like hello, and it went. Another one where the head turns and there was like the little crack or whatever. There's a lot of build up to that, and then nothing happened after that. It was just like someone knocked on their door and opened it, and then it was fine. But
Yeah. So, would you guys recommend this movie?
If it came out on Redbox, yes. To pay $13 to go see it in theaters, no.
I agree with Ariana. I think it's a fun movie. Don't go if you're thinking you're going to get scared and that's what you want.
yeah, I think if if you're like David and these movies, like if these are like
Feed your soul because they do. feed
I
your soul.
like long series scary movies. I enjoy them,
yeah.
and Conjuring was one of them. But I guess I'll have to watch it to understand certain things.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And come back and you'll be like, you're all wrong.
It's the best movie ever.
from what you explain, it doesn't get
All of
much
the
to
Oscars. All of the
it.
Oscars.
Right?
I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat as Nathanael and Ariana. Don't feel like it's a movie that you should definitely go see in theaters to get the full experience because you could probably definitely just watch this at home and get the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hope it's on Netflix.
It might be. Is The Conjuring stuff on Netflix?
No.
No.
Is
Then
that
about-
my house,
I don't know.
though?
I haven't seen them. Now I really want to see them.
You haven't seen Conjuring?
Mhm.
What?
I know.
Let's have a movie night.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
I own it because my good friend Shannon gave it to me.
Are you
Dude,
gonna?
Shannon loved like
Let's
talking
just talk about how great Shannon is for a second. Shannon,
Well,
you
no,
are beautiful.
like
I love
afterwards,
you.
I found out like how into like the Conjuring universe Shannon was because she was like me and her were talking about it.
Oh yeah, she's.
That was
really
the other friend that came with us. Like the group of 4 of us went without David, but whatever.
He's a brother.
I was the group of friends that went, but
From
David
the
just
same
wasn't
mother?
there. That's a better way to put it. But I was just we were just talking to her, and she was very into it, and she really loves the movies. So
Yes.
I'd love to get her opinion on
I
it.
know her. She sounds great.
Yeah. So so that's all we have for you today. Thank
Thanks
you.
for having me.
You're welcome.
Thank you,
Thank you
Ariana.
so much for coming on the
Yeah,
show.
thank you.
Appreciate it.
Princess Leia.
Yeah, you can't see it because this is an audio show.
In the propofol. You must
Hey,
Google on
swish.
in a.
So if it had a sound, it would be a swish, swish. Thank you for joining us.
You did not just make a Taylor Swift reference.
I did.
You just lost some points.
I didn't even realize I made a reference. So
Oh, okay, fine.
You got your points back.
You did it on accident.
Taylor Swift sucks. Bye guys. See you
Wow.
next week.
Now no one from Lakeside will listen to us.
Do people live there?
Right? Gotta go to Smart and Final. Make Smart Final a
So-
Costco trip.
12 minutes later.
Was it?
Yeah.
Wow, way to go, team.
Sorry, I don't have anything else to do. I don't know if you have to be somewhere.
I have some stuff I'd like to take care of before like later tonight, but whatever. Anyway.
Some bodies to bury?
Yeah, yours if you don't shut up.
I won't let him.
What? You won't let him?
I won't
Okay,
let
yeah,
him
you'll
bury
be
you.
okay, fine. You'll be standing in the way and I'll have to bury 2 bodies. That's fine.
I want to
Anyway.
Oh.
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah.
Can I start now?
This is like Reservoir Dogs.
Love it.
I'm ready whenever you are.
Okay.
You two get coffee later and do this, okay? Then
Sorry,
don't.
sorry, go ahead. I'm listening. I'm gonna be a good guy.
Are you a coffee person?
Oh yeah, I haven't had
Are you kidding me?
Oh.
Like, if coffee
If
was
there's
crack.
one thing,
Have you
if
been to
there's one
Lestats
thing,
before in North Park? Oh, isn't that so
People
good?
sitting there all the
What
time.
about Butler's Pantry over there in Rancho?
Rancho what?
hey,
San
Henry, you
Diego.
could always
That's where I
unplug
live.
the microphone.
So Butler's Pantry, you know when you get off at
Oh, God.
This is your fault. You did it.
so know the Fresh and Easy used to be and where that church is with the really bad Mexican place?
Uh-huh.
When you get right off the freeway, you know how there's that terrible turn in and you don't know
By the
what
way,
it is?
Evan,
That's a coffee
if
place.
this was like,
And
this
it's
was like a
delicious.
great
They have great
podcast.
pour over.